Hey there, bye. Welcome to episode 127. Happy Canada Day! True to size.
You put a microphone in front of Joel for the first time in 3 months, and he doesn't know how to act. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins, and I am joined by the rest of the still kind of quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Yo!
And Mr. Alvin Martinez.
You got that right about there, bud.
And you'll notice there's no delay anymore when we're talking to each other. And the quality of the audio has increased dramatically. And that's because we're not joined by anyone else.
Nope.
And we're also not several kilometers apart anymore.
No.
Yes, for the first time since mid-March.
Oh, shit.
We are finally back together,
Yep.
adhering to all provincial and federal rules in the same room. I say we're all adhering to the rules as Alvin sneezes.
Yo, I tested negative. I'm straight.
That's true, yeah. Alvin tested negative the other day, so he's completely safe. He can do whatever he wants.
Whatever you want.
Boys, we're back. How we
Yeah.
feeling? We're good?
Boys
Yeah,
are
man.
back in town.
This is crazy. It feels weird. It feels like the first time. It
Yeah.
feels like the very first time.
In forever.
The first time in forever, if you will. Yeah. Anyway. Wow. I'm glad we slipped a Frozen reference in there. That's really good. See, when there's a delay, we can't do these kinds of jokes
No.
because it takes 45 minutes for
Yeah.
Joel to hear what I'm saying.
And I'll sound like I'm in a box.
Exactly. For the first time in forever.
In forever would have came 5 minutes after.
Exactly, yeah. We would have been on to This Week in Kicks.
And for the first time, this week in kicks in forever.
Then just Joel just sounds like he has Tourette's or something, just screaming stuff out.
Some random shit.
Anyways, so yeah, for the first time in a long time, we're back together to record the pod, and for the first time in also a very long time, it's just us without a guest. So it kind of feels like we're starting fresh. So we figured it would make sense to reintroduce ourselves. What's that Hove line, Alvin?
My name is Hove.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
H to the OV.
Before that part. So for anyone who's recently joined us, we want to make sure we reintroduce ourselves so you know what's good. And for anyone who wasn't paying attention the first time, this is your opportunity to catch up. So this week, once we run through our usual segments, we're highlighting our very own Jo Dooney. But first, Alvin.
Fire brow.
Yes, the fire round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners. And this week's question comes from Rushy Grant.
Oh my gosh.
Good friend of the show out of Toronto. And Rushy Grant says, very topical question here. With the NBA bubble coming up and players having to pack for a 1 month up to a possible 3 months,
Jeez.
my question is, if you had to leave and didn't know exactly when you were coming back home, what 3 pairs of shoes are you packing to bring with you?
Oh, that's tough.
Damn,
Only 3 pairs.
we keep saying we're okay, and then Alvin sneezed and I'm coughing. Shit.
Oh,
So obviously it's a loaded question, and it's one of those, because it's not the same as you're going on vacation
no.
or you're going to a specific place. You're leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be coming back again.
Yeah.
You have no idea. So
But if I'm LeBron, I'm bringing my closet, dog. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. NBA players are not just bringing 3 pairs. But I'll
Yeah.
answer your question somehow.
yeah, there's no way
Yeah.
that the NBA players are like having to downsize at all. If they're like, I need 4 hotel rooms, they're like, all right, sir, or Mr.
Yeah.
LeBron, no problem.
Or they're just going to buy shoes when they get there.
Yeah,
That too,
there's no way that they have to choose anything. They're trying to. I actually read, this is a side note while you guys think, that the NBA is paying Walt Disney World $1.5 million a day
Oh, shit.
for this
Damn.
whole bubble thing. So for the hotels, for the food, for the transportation, for the accommodations,
Holy.
for the playing places, 1.5 mil a day for 3 months.
Well, they
Jeez.
probably make more than that anyway.
Yeah,
But they're
for
just
from
trying
the
to
TV
compensate.
They just need to
right?
make sure that they play a season.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so that's enough time for you guys to think. I'm going to answer first, so you guys have a little bit even more time to think. So my first answer, and this is just because I have a bunch of new shoes now and I want to make sure they have a chance to get worn. So the first thing would be the LA to Chicago Air Jordan 1 that I recently stripped down to the Chicago. You need something to like stunt on a little bit, especially, I'm going to be around ball players. We're going to assume that this question means we are in fact going to the bubble. I need something to stunt, but also go with everything. So the Chicago that I haven't even worn yet definitely has to be on the list. After that, speaking of stunt, I'm going to go with like even crazier pair. We'll do like a pair of Yeezy 2s, my pure platinum, because like that you can dress up. So when they're like giving me the award for MVP for the season, I need to dress up. And the last thing, because those two pairs can only get worn like once each, I need a pair of beaters. So I'm going with my sale ones that I've worn every single day for the past 4 years. Because you can't dress up every day. And especially if you're in a bubble at a hotel.
Yeah.
Nah, I need to like dress down. So like when I'm walking down to the cafeteria to get a shitty sandwich, I'm not pinning on a pair of pure platinum. So I'm going sale ones as my third pair.
Beater.
Jeez.
Beater. Alvin, what do you think?
I'm just gonna bring like Disney shit because I'm gonna be running around with my kids.
True story.
Because I'm an NBA player and I have more than one kid. So I'm gonna do Zoom Fly 3s.
Oh.
And then
I was gonna say, are you just listing the shoes you actually brought to Disney?
oh, did I? I did bring those.
You did bring those.
Sean Wotherspoon, 97 ones. And I'm gonna go to the outlet and buy a pair of. I'm gonna get my friends to go to the outlet and buy me a size 10.5 pair of
Spans.
Yeah,
Spans or
Air Span
Cylons?
2s?
Spans, yeah.
Span 2s in the purple and orange colorway.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to leave the bubble, so your friends have to go to the outlet for you.
Yeah.
Just in case I get COVID, I don't want because
yeah.
I have to play.
Yeah, you have to play NBA basketball.
On the bench.
Speaking of that shoe, I have to show you the condition of that
I saw
shoe.
them.
Oh,
They're
you saw them?
beat to shit.
Destroyed.
Mine are still pristine.
No, mine are.
Yeah,
I felt so bad the other time when we were talking about like sentimental shoes because you guys are like, I value these shoes so much. And I'm like, I do too, but mine are really dirty.
That's how much I value them. I wore them all the fucking
They're
time.
really fucking bad. Joel, what are you bringing?
I'm gonna probably bring the band ones
Oh yeah,
just to like get the league fits going on
low key fresh.
proper, yeah. And then I'll probably throw in a pair of Dunks in there in the mix. Probably like some Tiffs,
Okay.
the lows, just to get like some more photography pics and whatnot.
Your tunnel walk is going to be
tunnel
on point.
walk, yeah. And then just like you need that beater pair. So I need to be comfy, and I'll probably bring like, I don't know what's a comfy pair, like maybe some New Balances or something like that.
There you go.
Like those gray ones that we got. Was that
990?
990? The V5.
The
or something?
990. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that shoe a lot.
Yeah, man.
I also like that question a lot. Rushy Grant, that was a good one. It made us think a little bit. And if you guys can't tell, anybody listening, if you can't tell, we're incredibly excited to be back together. If you can't tell how giddy and stupid we are acting, because we're very excited to be back together. If you would like to submit a question for the 5 round and have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canadagotsold@gmail.com. Next up, the CGS picks. Each week we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Alvin's trademark phrase.
Super cute.
And once again, it sounds so much better when it happens immediately after I say that, and there's not like I'm not
like
on
a
to my
5
pick.
second pause.
Yeah. I'm already describing my pick, and Alvin just super cute. So, because we're in my house, I'm going to go first because it's only right. The host should go first.
Only right.
So my pick this week, I'm going to tell you the original pick and what I switched it to. My original pick was the ACG Nike Dunk Low. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a Nike Dunk Low, like a Nike sportswear dunk coming out sometime in the next couple months in the original ACG colorway. So it's like the purple, the infrared, and the yellowish whatever. So those are really cool. But I switched it after I saw these, and I have a good reason for it. So for the umpteenth week in a row, my pick is a women's only release, and it's the Lucky Green Air Jordan 1 that's upcoming sometime in the next couple months. It's the typical Chicago Jordan 1 colorway blocking. It's just instead of red, it's green. Pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. The Wings logo on the side, on the wing, is all redded out, which is kind of cool, and the Nike Air branding on the tongue is also redded out. And I don't really like the shoe. That's just like a side note. I'm not a huge fan of the shoe, but when I looked at it, apparently the inspiration based on the insole art, people are thinking it's based on Michael Jordan's 63-point playoff game against Boston. So they did the DMP pack with the Breads and the Celtic ones, and that was also supposed to be based on that. But these are, I guess, the updated women's only edition. When I looked at them, I was like, is this a Heineken Jordan 1? Because it's the exact same green, and it's got the red hit on the heel instead of a star. It's the Wings logo, and I was like, this looks exactly like a Heineken Jordan 1, and that kind of made me like it even more, thinking it was inspired by the Heineken, and then I was like, oh, it's supposed to be a Celtic Jordan 1, but for women, and I was like, never mind, it's not that cool. But it kind of goes along with, because I think several times in the last couple of weeks, we've noted that Jordan 1s are taking inspiration from dunks of the past, and this is definitely, it seems to be on that list as well. So these are, I'm not going to call it a poop. They're just kind of cute. They're not the best, but it's definitely a solid women's only release. You can't just keep putting out super hype women's only releases, because then they're all going to sell out and women aren't going to be able to get them. So like, you know, some mid-tier, just solid releases are good to have. And these are definitely one of those. So cute for me. Alvin, what about you?
I have the Nike X Denham Air Max 95. I don't know if that
really
was
good.
I don't know.
Could have fooled me.
It's so Denham is a denim company from Dutch.
Oh,
It's a Dutch
Denmark.
No. It make sense if it was though.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I'm just looking at the pictures, and it's literally all denim, aside from the mesh that you get where it is usually. It's literally all denim, different shades of denim, but it looks like the inner, like, you know when you kind of cuff your denims? That's what it looks like when it's like the gray and like the letter colors. I also love that they're bringing it with the Volt. Me and Joe were talking about it before. It's kind of like the Mida vibes.
Yeah.
Which I loved. But man, these are dangerous as F, bro. Like, I want another pair of Volts just so I can beat the ones I already have. But if I get these, I probably won't beat either of them, because these ones are crazy. Love the denim. And the Volt, like, and then the back tab is like khaki.
Yeah.
Or camel, whatever color you want to call that.
It might even be a veggie tan leather. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
But super duper clean shoe. No real word on a US or Canadian release. So we might have to fly to go to the Dutch and hit up Denham for the Denim Air Max 95s. These are super duper scoop
clean.
If we get the chance to.
The Air Max 1 from the same pack is really cool too. Like, I'm looking at it right now. It's the all blue. It's got some hits of the leather mixed in with the suede and the denim. But the insole is like red leather, and it's got scissors on it. And because it's like a cut and sew denim company.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. They're doing a 4-pair pack. Is this your favorite from the pack thus far between everything you've seen? Because these are crazy.
The Air Max ones are cute.
Yeah.
But the 95s are different. Like, and you know I love my Air Max ones, but the 95s just hit different. Like, when you make an OG color but use different materials
and update it.
Oh my goodness.
These are fantabulous. I'm a big fan. And I've been looking for Neon 95, so these may be a scoop for me too. Joel, what's your pick this week?
Okay, so my pick is the Air Force One brush stroke pack. It comes in the 2 colorways, the black and the white with the red heel tab, and the white and the black swoosh with the red heel tab. It's pretty much your typical Air Force One, except for the detailed brush stroke swoosh. It's super dope the way that they did it. It looks pretty much like you just took a big fat brush. I don't know what size that brush is, but
22 millimeters.
And then you just take it, you just dip it in the white paint for the black pair, and you just do one time, just like a swoosh.
Yeah.
And it has like the swoosh marks. It's got like the inner lining is not filled in because you did it just so fast. You know what I mean? And then you turn it into the medial side of the sneaker, and you do it because you run out of paint, so you do it again.
It's missing a little bit.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit of fainted, but yeah, man, really good details the way they did this. I don't know if there's a release date. Let me see. No, there's no release date yet, but I'm going to assume fall 2020. So But yeah, be on the lookout. It's a 2-pack, a black and the white, and the white with the black swish. So, but yeah, man, these are super cute. If I can get my hands on these, it's a for sure thing.
Which one do you prefer between the black and the white?
I like the black and the white, but then the white and the black stands out more.
Yeah, it looks. You can notice the brushstroke a little bit more.
Yeah, and I like that medial side of the shoe where it's got like I said, like that fainted brushstroke. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, dip some more paint in there.
Yeah, literally, they were like running out of paint, and they were just like, all right, we got to do this one. The leather looks awesome too. It's like a nice pebbled, really nice quality. It's looking good. Air Force is back. You heard it here first. Air Force is back. Next up. This week in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And just one thing to cover this week, and this one's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun to talk about. Nike's Quarantine Ready contest. So I don't know if you guys heard, but we've all been quarantined for the past couple months. I assume you guys have been privy to that. So it's really brought out the pioneer in everybody. People are baking bread, gardening, fucking board games, snakes and ladders, home improvements. It's just gone insane. And Nike, once again, has expertly timed a contest that'll keep your self-isolation the most fun. So they introduced a line of puzzles that features the visuals of some of their most iconic ad campaigns from the 70s and 80s. So they're all really cool. They're really well done. The old Nike campaigns from the 70s or 80s are like so cool. So it's really cool that they're bringing them back. There's 9 different variations. Each are numbered out of 325 worldwide, with the exception of the Nike Dunk one, which is the Be True to Your School campaign. And that one's limited to 1,225.
Jeez.
So the puzzles were all sent out to shops around the world in limited quantities, and it's up to the stores to decide how they're going to release them. So if they're going to do a special contest, you have to do something. If it's just a tag 3 friends kind of thing, and the puzzles are all free. So if you win, you just get it for free.
Nice.
So really cool. Like I said, really good timing by Nike. I mean, this costs them literally pennies. Like they have to make a couple thousand puzzles, which has to be next to nothing in their own cost, but just the whole energy around it is really cool. Big fan of it. Puzzles is one of those things that everyone's just all over right now because you can't fucking go anywhere. So, really cool thing by Nike to do, and good luck to anybody who's trying to get one. I saw that Normal posted one. I think Capsule has them.
Yeah.
I think Livestock might have posted them. So there's definitely some local Canadian stores who have gotten them. Definitely enter if you can, because in 5-10 years, it's going to be one of those things that people are like, fuck, I wish I got one of those Nike puzzles.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on that. Next up, previously in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap the latest happenings in our sneaker lives. And as a true to size, number 127 exclusive, Alvin has something to reveal that he was sent just yesterday, I think. And he hasn't even posted yet. Actually, by the time this airs, it'll probably have been posted. But as of now, he hasn't posted it.
I don't know if I could talk about that one yet.
Oh.
But
Is there an embargo on it?
yeah,
That's exciting.
I think so.
Wow.
You guys can wait. Maybe next episode we could talk about it.
Damn.
But we did get the Olympic Dream Team, but it's not called the Dream Team colorway.
Copyright.
Shacknosis from Reebok, Canada. Which are, they're super clean. You can never go wrong with that Olympic colorway. Navy, white with the red. Materials they used were crazy. Like the leather was nice and tumbled. The suede was super buttery. Like, it's a really, really dope shoe. And I've always liked the Shacknosis. And they look good, man.
They don't get enough love. The Shacknosis. They really don't.
They don't. Like, I've always wanted the white and black or black and white.
The traditional,
like OG, like Shaq. Always wanted that colorway, but these are crazy, man. Like, you can't really knock it because, I mean, he was part of the squad who killed it in the Olympics in 92.
Retros is back.
And I think they also released the Sean Kemp Kamikazes.
Ooh, yeah.
I think you're right.
Was it the Kamikaze?
I think you're right.
That he rocked?
Yeah.
With the green?
I think so.
And the red?
With like the...
Yeah.
The wavy line?
Squiggly. You can call it a squiggly.
I don't know.
I don't think there's an official name for...
But those are dope too, man. But like, yeah, huge fan of these Shacknosis, man. Like, Reebok, you're going the right direction.
Absolutely.
Keep killing it, man. And like,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. These were dope.
Facts.
And maybe next week we'll have more news.
Yeah, there is more news that we just can't tell you yet. I didn't know we couldn't tell you yet. Yeah. Joel, any pickups in the last week?
No pickups.
You got the car, and you're like, I'm
Got
good.
the car, and I'm
I'm
like,
good
fuck,
for
I
the
gotta
next
make
little
payments
while.
on this car now.
Every week during This Week in Kicks, you can say, I made a car payment. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last week I teased and I posted it like a couple days later that I had a really big pickup, and I picked it up literally right after that episode with Ryan Swanger, which was a fun episode. It was like 10:30 at night. Shout out to Tong, who I picked it up from, for still being awake. When I messaged him, I was like, yo, can I come after the podcast? It's going to be late.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll see if I'm still awake. And luckily he was. He's getting old, but he's not that old, I guess. So I drove out there. We've had an arrangement for a little bit of time now. So I picked up the Supreme Blazer dead stock in red from 2006, which is like, it's been on my list for the longest time. I remember back like Soul Collector ISS days, searching the marketplace for pairs constantly, and just, it was so hard to pull the trigger back then, even for 400, because I was fucking a struggling high school student and I'm a struggling adult, but whatever. So the funny thing is they were part of an $11 subscription he was doing. It was that and a couple other pairs, and the winner got to pick whichever one. And I saw it and I was like we kind of have an arrangement. So I wonder if I should hit him up if the person doesn't pick the Supreme Blazer, because maybe we could set something up.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it. I entered that raffle, didn't win. I completely forgot about it. And then he posted them for sale like 2 days later. So in my mind, I was like, oh shit, the person didn't pick it. So I saw other people saying like DM. I was like, fuck, like I must have missed it. I DM'd him. I was like, are they still up? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And then, yeah, he's really easy to deal with when you just come correct. Man. So I mean, yeah. Needless to say, I'm very excited. And as I said when I posted them on Instagram, it must be frustrating as a person who kept them on ice for 14 years to know that fucking me picked them up and is gonna wear them ASAP.
Why?
How do you not wear them for 14 years? How do you have such a beautiful shoe?
It's hard to find a DS pair for real though.
Yeah, it is.
2006 is a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
That quilted.
I was 3 years old.
Jeez.
Holy shit. No, I wasn't.
Jeez.
But yeah, like that's 14 years, and they're like you said, impossible to find. No OG box, but I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Are the midsoles yellowed yet?
No, they're still cool. I'll show you guys them after. Actually, I didn't show you, but they're. They would look sick.
I've seen them yellowed,
patina.
bro. Oh my gosh.
Good,
I think you might be onto something there. But yeah, thank you, NetMag. It feels like every single purchase I've made in the last 2 months has come from you.
Yep.
But anyways, thanks very much.
Yeah, man.
Next up, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this part of the show, we give our opinion on various sneaker-related topics with zero context or discussion. All we're allowed to say is thumbs up or thumbs down. And this was a big trend maybe 1.5 years ago. I still see it from time to time, so we got to cover it because we've never really talked about it. This week's thumbs up, thumbs down is leather laces. Remember when people would buy the leather laces and put them in their shoes? People still do it. I think I have a pair of leather laces. I don't have them in a shoe. Alvin.
It's controversial.
It is.
Yeah.
Down.
Ooh. Joel.
Down.
I am also down. I love when I pick one.
Trying to think why.
Makes you go,
I know. You're like, man.
Fuck that shit down, bro.
say with your chest. Up or down. Next up, NSR. We talk about sneakers a lot, so in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant to the world of sneakers. And, we've been hanging out for most of the day today in the pool. We're just chilling in the sun. I want to know, summertime is officially here, especially because the quarantine is slowly being lifted. It's up to 10 people now, so we can actually hang out. I want to know, summertime is here. What is your go-to alcoholic beverage for the summertime? I know none of us are huge drinkers, but you're sitting out in the sun. As Alvin was saying, maybe sometime in the next 8 years we go to Cuba when it's actually safe to do so. What's the go-to alcoholic drink when you're sitting in the sun on the beach, Alvin?
When I go to Cuba, because that's basically the only time I drink, it's a virgin pina colada. or if there is alcohol, it's like the littlest drip of like rum.
Yeah, rum.
And you're still beat red afterwards.
Yeah. But no, I'll drink like a Henny and Coke here and there, but like Not really.
When we were in Florida, we were drinking henginas like
Henginas.
crazy.
Henginas.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what that is, look it up.
Hengina. Don't look it up. You probably won't get it. You won't get a good search result on Google if you search Hengina.
Yeah.
What was it? It was Hennessy
mango.
and mango
Mango
juice.
juice.
Yeah,
Mango juice.
that was good shit.
Gina mango juice. The ones you cop at the Asian supermarket.
Yes,
Mhm.
Get on that.
patented by True to Size.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Joel, what's the go-to summertime alcoholic beverage?
You can never go wrong with like a rum and coke or some cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple ice cubes, maybe more than a couple ice cubes.
Nah, bro,
Even
half
like,
a cup, bro. Like,
Yeah, man. Just like even like Hennessy, like on the rocks or something like that. You know, just something to sip on, and just let it marinate, kind of thing. But yeah, man, something like that for me.
I'm white, if you guys haven't noticed. So I do definitely. I'm in for the Hennessy and Coke, or even just the Hennessy rum and Coke, whatever. But not growing up, because that sounds really bad.
Since I was 6 years old.
As long as I can remember. They skip to the point. For me, it's just a good Stella out of the can is the best for me.
Yeah.
You can drink, especially on a day like today. You start at like noon. You could drink a fucking. Not a 2-4, maybe.
Twofer. You drink a twofer.
Give me a twofer. Go back and get my $3 from the deposit and go again. But
Is there a difference when you drink from a bottle than a can?
There's definitely a difference. I just don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Like from draft, like from a tap to a bottle to a can. There's definitely a difference. I just think I like the feeling of a can better than a bottle. It's not colder.
Stay colder.
I don't like
Smooth.
If we're gonna get really into it, last week I had a rant about bottled water. So if we go on, I can rant and rant, but
Yeah.
it's just how narrow the neck of the bottle is.
Yeah.
I don't like how it feels.
You hold it like a microphone, like you're rapping. Every time you
Literally,
take a sip.
yeah. And I don't want to have to. You have to literally like pucker your lips to get any liquid out of there. I'd rather just a can.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Facts.
once again, I could do this all day, but anyways, that was about 30 seconds, so we'll stop there. Next up, errors, edits, and e-messages. We're pretty smart guys, but from time to time we make mistakes. So if you catch us slipping, hit us in the DM, and we'll let the world know that we goofed. So we actually had a lot of messages this week, so first of all, shout out to everybody who sent them out, but we are trying not to read off 8, 9, 10 EEs a week. So we're trying to pull just a couple that we really think the listeners would enjoy. And the first one, because we called on him, we did the conch call, like we called Aquaman.
Yeah.
Gareth Tilley, Highbrow Sneakers, made sure to chime in.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Because we reached out after Kuya Mike.
Yeah.
Jump
Yeah.
in with both feet?
Both feet. Yes.
Jump in with both feet?
Yes.
I'm going to
I
get it
believe
wrong
so.
and he's going to get mad. He said that our mistake in calling episode 121, 122, whatever, was not his fault because it wasn't a true episode. And he said, ask our resident lawyer. And our resident lawyer heard our call. First of all, shout out to you, Gareth, for keeping up so consistently.
Yeah, man.
Like he was on it, like literally 2 days after. He's like, I got this. I checked the books. So anyways, he says, guys, since you asked, I think there is a difference between an episode titled episode 122, for example, and what is in substance the 122nd episode. So it's the difference between episode 122 and the 122nd episode is what he's saying. So he's saying, however, the intro to what was titled episode 122 said, and this is what Mike said when he introduced it, Canada Got Soul presents episode 121 of True to Size, not presents the 121st episode of True to Size. Small little detail. So he says, so in my view, it was a mistake. Sorry, but as we love to say in the law trade, there are arguments both ways. Don't sweat it. He says Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 1 was actually the second one he wrote. So if we're as smart as Beethoven, I'll take that. We are musical geniuses, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, man.
So sorry, Mike, first of all, but the lawyer has spoken. And just the fact that I love how lawyery that answer is.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. So thank you, Gareth, for sending that in. And another submission, this is actually from the Fire Round submitter, Rushy Grant. He lets us know, because we were talking about the Virgil auction last week, he says the reason that the Virgil shoe raffle went down to the 49 cents thing, and we were kind of laughing at it, was because it was done on eBay in the UK. So it actually sold for £150. and then it converted to 186 and some change in USD.
Mm-hmm.
And so he also says something fun to note: expedited shipping was $1 on that pair.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's nice.
It's the least he could do.
If I had to pay 150,000 pounds, I would expect expedited shipping to be included. I would want it couriered by Virgil to my house, but that's, I guess, just a side note. So yeah, I guess the guy who won was not actively bidding against anybody as we thought he may have been.
True.
So, two things. First of all, it's crazy how much faster we fly through these episodes when there's no 5-second delay every time someone says something.
Yeah.
Because we're already at the main discussion.
There's
this
no,
week.
no,
Yeah,
you go first.
no,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. Cut you off. And maybe you don't hear it at home, but that's just because when I'm editing, every time someone speaks, I have to chop 3 seconds out, and we have to cut and paste. So we're back. We're good. And we're at the main discussion. And as mentioned, we've gotten a lot of new visitors, or sorry, not visitors, sure, listeners in the last little while. And it's been a while since we've actually talked about ourselves. We've had a lot of guests. We've done a lot of talking about other stuff. But, just to re-up, make sure everyone's on the same page, make sure everyone knows who we are, who we're about. We're going to go through weekly, and we'll, just like we did when we started the podcast 2.5 years ago, we went through and introduced ourselves. We're going to do it again. So this week we'll start with Joel. The next week we'll go to Alvin, and then one of you or both of you can do me. Yeah, we can.
Same time.
Hopefully the limit's up to 15 and we can have even more people do me, but whatever. So, Joel, you know how this goes. You've been here for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
It all starts with 21 Guestions.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. And as we like to say, there are no right answers, but there are also no wrong answers. It's your own little fire round. You have 21 seconds to answer 21 questions. Are you ready?
Ready like Freddy.
All right. Question number 1. Red or blue?
Blue.
Question number 2. Air or boost?
Air.
Question number 3. Pineapple on pizza?
Hell yeah.
All right. See, this is why everyone else is like fringe. This is the core group right here. Number 4. Crew socks or no shows?
Crew socks.
Ooh, I feel like you hesitated.
Yeah,
Think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Question number 5. Air Max 1 or Air Max 90?
Air Max 1.
Number 6. Do you plug your nose when you jump in the pool?
Yes.
Number 7. Favorite sneaker you've purchased in the last year?
In the last year. I'd probably say like the,
Can we guess?
yeah.
You can get do you have something?
What has he purchased
It's been
in
a
the last
while,
year?
actually. I think I know. I think it's the Air Max 112, if that's been a year.
That's been a year.
It's been around a year, I think. That's my
Yeah.
guess. Or I was going to say the Dunks, actually. I know he really likes those Syracuse Dunks. I don't know if that's just recency bias, but I know he really likes those Syracuse Dunks as well.
I don't know.
What is it?
It's actually the
It's going to be something stupid.
Adidas.
Adidas, yeah.
Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Adidas 8000s.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that
yes,
Stock
yes,
X
yes,
pair.
the X's.
No.
The Aqua?
The Aqua.
The Aqua 8000.
Yeah.
That's a very good answer.
Yeah, man.
Number 8. What influenced your current style?
Oh, what influenced it? I don't know. Probably just like hip hop. Like everything for me, it all comes back down to hip hop. Whether it's the way I write, the way I talk, the way I just like, my persona, the way I am. It's everything boils down to hip hop. So, but yeah, man.
Yeah, anyone who's ever met you would not even have to ask that question. This is just for people who have never even seen you in person. Number 9. What is further north? Seattle, Washington, or Ottawa, Ontario?
Seattle.
Correct. Not by much, mind you.
Oh yeah.
Not by a whole lot. It was actually going to be, this is a side note, it was actually going to be what is further north, Sudbury or Seattle. Do you know what that one is?
I'd probably say Sudbury.
That might be Sudbury.
I don't know the answer because on the map they were very close. So that's just a side note. They're very close.
Yeah.
Like when I probably did it the wrong way and I just typed in directions on Google Maps to see which direction the line would go.
Yeah.
But it's like straight across. I don't know if I'd have to check the longitude and latitude thing,
Yeah,
but
probably.
But yeah, that's aside. I don't know the answer. Somebody check and let us know what's further north, Seattle or Sudbury. Question number 10. Most expensive shoe you've ever purchased. You don't have to say how much, but what is the shoe?
It would probably be the 97 ones, the Sean Waters.
The Sean's? Yeah. Number 11, Chicago ones or bread ones?
Bread ones.
Ooh. Number 12, DS and no box or worn with the box?
DS and no box.
Oh, really? Question number 13, original boxes or drop fronts?
Original. OGs.
Question number 14, what are 3 sneakerheading essentials?
Okay, so essentials. You need something clean. So it's either, Jason Marks or Crep Protect. You gotta have, just dress like pick whatever you want to wear. Like, you know what I mean? Buy what you like. Go with your gut instinct. It doesn't have to be a hype shoe. It could be like, whatever shoe you want. Like, just go with your instinct. That's number 2. And number 3 would probably be,
We laugh at everybody, but it's probably hard when you're on the spot.
It is, man. It is. I'd probably say, maybe like shoe trees or something.
Okay.
I don't know, just to keep the formity of the shoe going on.
If IKEA is listening, please get shoe trees back.
Yeah, please,
I didn't realize how expensive they were from everybody else.
Yeah?
Like, I think the cheapest one you found was like $7, right, Alvin?
Each.
Wow. Yeah, I think IKEA was like $2.99, if that.
Like the one when I bought them, they were like $2.
Go to AliExpress, yo. Takes 10 weeks, but I'm still waiting for mine.
My shoes aren't going anywhere.
Coming.
So
They're coming,
on their way.
Your shoes aren't leaving.
Yeah.
So I have one pair of shoe trees, and I rotate it through when I'm going to take a picture of the shoe.
I think on Ali. I think it's AliExpress.
Ali?
Ali?
Ollie or Ali?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 for $30.
10 for 30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Good, man.
$3 each.
Yeah.
And I think in total it came up to like just under 40, so like $4 each.
That's still really good.
Yeah,
but it takes a while to. It's like if it doesn't come within 90 days, let us know and you'll get your refund.
Oh man.
So I'm still waiting. I'm down to 80 days, so I'm just
10 more days.
Holy smokes!
No, I still got 80 days.
Oh, still got 80.
It's only been 10 days.
80 more days.
This guy said, "I'm still waiting."
I'm still waiting.
They
bro.
haven't even shipped it yet, bro.
No, it's shipped.
They don't even.
I just don't know how they shipped it. It's like courier pigeon or some shit.
Yeah, well, I think if it's coming from China, there's no flights coming from China at all.
Is it coming from China though?
I think AliExpress is as China, like Asia.
Freight. Maybe.
So it's coming by
freight.
boat.
Yeah.
Your shit's sailing the 7 seas right now.
I'm good with it, bro. They got 80
Jack
days.
Sparrow.
Dog. They got 80 days.
80 days.
80 days.
That's how long it takes to go around the world, isn't it? 80 days? 80 days and 80 nights.
I'm down.
Yeah, man.
So you got time. Question number 15. Glow in the dark or 3M?
3M.
Question number 16. Dunks or Air Forces?
Whoa, this is hard.
Depends on the day we ask you.
Yeah. I'd probably say Dunks. Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that answer?
Not really, but
No?
yeah, I'm going to say Dunks.
If I ask you in half an hour, it'll probably be different.
The Air Forces, yeah.
Question number 17. What is 10 times 10?
100.
Question number 18. What is 20 times 5?
100.
Question number 19. How many meters in a kilometer?
100.
1,000.
I knew it. The trick one, bro.
Question number 20. What is your number one grail?
100.
Yeah, a hundo piece, yo. Number one grail. I'd probably say the Amsterdams right now. It's like the grail of all grails for me.
Yeah. Would
It's
you
just that-
prefer a pair that has had the midsole swapped?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
you can wear it?
Yeah, man.
It doesn't feel like it's less original when half the shoe is replaced?
No, because at
You can
least
wear
I can
that
wear it, man. Like, with comfort and ease, like peace of mind. Not like I'm like looking down at my feet all the
Yeah.
time or just checking if like,
Just talking?
Yeah, like I lift up my foot and it's like, the floor's like still stuck on like, like the shoe's still stuck on the floor. No. Nah.
So does that mean that if you were actively looking for a pair, which I'm sure like the price point is just astronomical
It's just
right now,
too much, yeah.
would you prefer to look for not a beat pair, but an already busted pair?
I would probably look for
'Cause your
like,
price would be better if it
Yeah,
was busted.
yeah.
And you're going to replace the sole anyway.
yeah,
so-
depending on like the uppers, the quality, like how they're like, like the whole, like, when a toe like wrinkles up and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just looking at that and maybe the color of the suedes and whatnot, if they're faded, but I could care less about like, the midsoles.
Because you're going to...
Cause it's, you run them to Jan or you run them to Kanatsuki and
Yeah.
cook it up, right?
I was going to ask, would you do it yourself? Because you swapped your cement
Yeah.
Supreme Dunks by
I did.
yourself.
I did by myself, but cause my carpal tunnel, like it took me, like a 1 week job took me like 2 months. So I had to do it whenever it was right.
That's some
it's not
AliExpress
right.
shit, bro.
Yeah, man. That's like almost 80 days, bro.
Shoot.
That's the AliExpress
That's
right
the
there.
Damn,
bro.
Question number 21. Would you rather receive your number one grail or 3 other pairs from your top 10?
No, I'm going to take the number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a bullet.
With a
Number one
bullet.
with a bullet, bro.
As much as I agree with you, I don't know if Alvin agrees with me as well. I loved Ryan's answer to that last week because he was just like 3 pairs is 3 outfits. Like,
Yeah.
That's just a side note. And if you haven't listened yet, please go back and listen to that episode because I really liked it. But that's such a good answer. And it's the easiest one, but it's also like, it's such a well thought out answer. So next up, your soleography. So we've obviously been through this before. But for anybody who doesn't remember or anybody who's new here, we want to get into kind of what makes you tick in the sneaker world. So first we want to start off with what got you into sneakers in the first place.
Okay, so what got me into the sneakers, growing up, like, my parents didn't have a lot of money. My dad worked the afternoon shift, so I was at home with my mom's. After school, I would pick her up cause she worked at the local Goodwill on Lakeshore. So I'd help her out after school down there. And I'd walk her home because, she'd walk through the alleyways at night and nobody wants your mom's walking home at night between the alleyways. But yeah, like I said, it was all hip hop influenced and, there's a lot of, those big head cats that you see on the Lakeshore, flossing in their, black cement 3s and whatnot, but I just could never afford Jordans back then. But yeah, I got into music, like Run DMC. I was listening to a lot of Run DMC. So I was heavy into Adidas, like the whole shell toe Adidas. And back then it was like all B-boyism and stuff like that. So you got your super fat laces and whatnot. Sometimes you would stretch out like regular flat laces just to make them fat. Take an iron to them, just like one that one documentary, just for kicks. Yeah. It was exactly what I did. You hit it with an iron, just stretch it out, with a towel, whatever. And you would just stretch out, the cotton just to get that fat lace look kind of thing. And, but yeah, I would do that and just heavy into Adidas from the beginning. And then, I started getting into making money, start working. So that's when the Nike started coming in. I would get the Air Force Ones and whatnot. And then it would graduate. I remember when I was in grade 8, my godfather got me a pair of the Jordan 5s, the Fire Reds. And, those were the OGs back then, in 1990. So yeah, when I graduated, going into, high school and whatnot, it was in the 90s. So I'm a 90s cat kind of thing. So I got my first pair of Jordans were the 5s. And then from that point on, it was just holy shit, I got a pair of Jordans.
The rest is history.
Yeah. So pretty much just went back to that and then, Air Maxes and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
So I know you've mentioned this before, and if Just for Kicks is a good reference because if you haven't, anybody listening, watch that documentary. It's when I worked at Exclusivity, watching Just for Kicks was part of your training. You had to watch Just for Kicks, and then you had to do a quiz afterwards on the movie to make sure you actually watched it.
Wow.
It's definitely something if you're, it's definitely something if you're into shoots, and it's there on YouTube for free actually right now. It's been there for a while. Something I recommend watching. We've all seen it numerous times. It's really good, just really good information. You've mentioned to us before that the Superstars is where you kind of started, and you were the only real difference was the color of the stripes.
Yeah.
And the different stripes is how you would get different outfits, and then the laces too. That's basically how you would it's a pair per an outfit kind of thing. So kind of to relate it back to something we just talked about, it used to be, I guess, for you, outfit and then pairs to match. You have the Superstar with the green to go with the Celtics jersey or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it was pair for an outfit, and you probably wanted more pairs just in different colors to make sure you had pairs for the outfits. When did it transition from just pairs with colors for outfits to I need this pair, I need this pair? When did that transition kind of happen for you?
That happened to me probably when I was still well into working, that money was coming in constantly. I didn't drive. So, my work was just close by, McDonald's, you're flipping burgers at McDonald's, and, money would come so easy, taking shifts and whatnot. You didn't have insurance and whatnot. You give a little money for rent, whatever. But
Those were the days.
Yeah, that's when it was like shit. Like I can get these Air Maxes, or I can get these Air Max 90s. You know what I mean? Or I went to that jam, and you know that one B-boy that was doing like a head spin or whatever. He was rocking these Air Maxes, or you know, like Jordan wore these in this game. Let me try to find those Jordans. So it's like, you know, at that point on, like when I was like, you know, making the money, when I was working, that's when it took that turn for, like, you know, looking at other shoes and
targeting
and
stuff.
Silhouettes. Yeah. And targeting. Okay. I want to get these. I want to get those. Those are dope. So it's like, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like when I first started getting into shoes, I was the same way as you. Like it was like, I need a blue shoe. Like I want a blue shoe for this outfit. And then like it sort of transitioned. Alvin, were you the same way where it was like, you need colors, or were you just like buying the shoes and you're like, fuck it, I'll figure out the outfit after?
Yeah. I was always, well, I don't know, man. I gotta think about that one. I think because when I first started buying like shoes, it was just because they were on sale and I thought they looked dope. And I was like, I'll worry about the tees afterwards.
Yeah.
But then when I started getting into like SBs and shit, that's when I was like, oh, this is a dope color. I don't have a color like this in my collection.
Yeah.
Yet. So
it's a bit of both.
I don't know, man. I think about my history a little bit.
I think like with when we're starting to think about like, you know, matching like color coordinating or so, I think the main factor for doing when that happened was when the whole Kanye thing happened. And you know, like you know, you're you know, at that time, at that era, it was like, okay, you got to match your shirt with your hat, and your that check's got to be like the same color as what your outfit's going on. So it wasn't really much of a matching with my outfit kind of thing for me back in the day. It was sort of like a okay, I need this color. Like,
just
to have that color, just to say, okay, I got a red pair, or I got a green stripe, you know, shell toes and whatnot. So, you know, even the pro models, like I got an all white pro model, like, you know what I mean? So it's just saying, like, having the fact of just saying like, okay, I got this shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those days where it was literally like holding up a fitted to a pair of shoes you just bought, and you're like, no, the shade of blue is just a little bit off, and you're buying teams you don't even know what they are, and you just want to make sure the color.
Carolina Panthers.
Exactly. Yeah, you're like, I just need that UNC blue so bad.
Yeah, seriously.
So that was just a side note, but the next question that we want to know is, what's kind of the timeline like? So I feel like that whole Fire Red is kind of where it officially started for you in sneakers. And obviously that's 1990, and it's now, I don't want to make you feel old, but it's 30 years later.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what's kind of the timeline like? Like, obviously it started with the Superstar and then into Jordan, but when you started seriously getting into it, what was kind of like the flow of it?
I started getting into it like in the 05, like in the history of Air.
Officially.
That's when it was officially like, okay.
You've arrived.
Yeah. Like you gotta, like my boy Kamal is the one that gave me the heads up on that. And, you know, he was like, yo, you gotta go on the internet. You gotta go on the Nike Talk. You gotta make an account. And that's when he introduced me to Nike Talk. And then from that point on, you go into the What Did You Wear Today posts, and you go into like, you know, the whole discussion posts on like, you know, the upcoming releases and whatnot. And then that's when you catch fire. That's when my fix was just, it was created at that point. Like, you know what I mean? So I would probably say like 05, and then when did the Black Cats drop? 06?
That's an Alvin question.
With the
Black
poster.
Cats?
Black Cat 4s?
Yeah. I'd probably say 06.
That's an Alvin shoe.
Yeah.
No,
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, 06 for sure.
And that was my first Jordan purchase.
Yo,
like after,
me too, dog.
like, yeah, was
That's
the Black
so
Cat.
cute.
Was the
Did
Black
you guys
Cat.
see each
buy
other
that
at the
skirt
store?
one time?
Actually, that's where I met Sway. Wendell.
At Champs?
Yeah, like
Champs.
I remember I pulled up. Like I had like the Civic back then. He was like, "Yo, sweet car, bro," or "Sweet car, man." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man." And I saw he had like the pinstripe shirt. He was like smoking at that time. I think. Sorry, Wendell. I don't know if you were smoking, but anyways, but you were outside of Champs outside of Foot Locker at Square One, and then he was outside of Foot Locker Square One, and that's when I pulled up. Like it was early in the morning because that's when, you know, Kamal, like my boy Kamal, told me to go. You got to go early. You got to get your pair. Blah, blah, blah. So that's when I
But it
walked
wasn't
in
even
there.
that bad.
He wasn't that
rolled
bad,
in
yeah.
later.
Yeah,
I remember dropping my
walked in.
mom off at like fucking 8 o'clock. I waited an hour.
Mhm.
The doors open. I waited outside of Foot Locker.
So you guys were at the same store? Buying the shoes.
Probably,
Square
yeah.
One Foot Locker.
Well,
But you
when
probably
I went,
came
it was-
later, though.
Yeah, when I went, it was already open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't. That would have been
It was only one dude. It was Stewart. Remember
Was it?
Stuart?
I think so.
White dude?
No.
No.
Anyway, but he was cool, man. He let me try. Like, yo, who lets you try on a retro nowadays?
Yeah, you can't.
Nobody does.
That was my first pair
Who
of
even
fours.
asks?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. whoever-
Yeah.
Me. I don't know my size. Can I try those on? You know what? The 10 and a half's a card tight. Can I get 11?
Yeah. I stretched these out a bit.
My foot's still growing.
It's crazy, bro. Man, to think about it that way, like, it's messed up.
Yeah. Nah, insane.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so the first thing was the Black Hat 4s.
The Black Hat
so that's
4s.
was you have officially buy your first pair of Jordans.
Yeah.
And now you're the most into runners.
and
So
then-
where did this go?
Knees started to hurt.
Yeah, man.
Back started to
And then
spasm.
I was like, yo, what the hell, man? So then, but yeah, like I've always liked the Air Maxes. Like I said, like growing up, I'd always catch those commercials. You know, like I said before, like in probably a different episode, but like, yeah, like the Beatles Air Max Revolution, commercial with Nike Air. It's got like, you know, the air bubble on the Air Max one. It's just showing like how it contorts and it pushes up and whatnot. Like that commercial stuck in my head, like all the time, like throughout and I just remember the red and white. And then, when they came out, like I missed the history of Air. I was able to get my hands on the infrared 90s, but I didn't get my hands on the OG reds, the ones. But, when they came out again, I think it was 09.
That was my first pair of Air Maxes.
From 09?
From 09, infrared
The quick
90s.
strike. Yeah.
Pre-ordered them.
Oh, nice. But, I think Wendell was the one that told me that they had gotten shipped to, I think it was the Burloak Nike. But yeah, he was able to get his hands on that for me. Get me a pair for myself.
Was it 09 or 10?
One of the two.
Might have been
09.
2010, yo.
I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah, either way.
It was a long fucking time ago. That's what I'll tell you.
10
while
years,
ago.
10
It
to
was a
11 years
decade.
ago, bros.
Yeah, man.
We've been doing this too long, man. Okay, so as we mentioned, we've been doing this for too long. Any regrets you can think of? In
No
we
regrets,
try to
bruh.
live, no regrets.
Yeah.
But
Many regrets.
no rugrats.
Yeah.
But anything specific that you can think of, like that you wish you did differently, or aside from like buying every single pair of What the Dunks when they were $1,000 and holding on to them for 5 years and becoming a millionaire.
Yeah.
They don't have money for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything in particular that you can think that you kind of regret or you would change looking back.
One thing I was reminded of like maybe a month ago was about selling my Stussies and my ostriches. That
I think I might have reminded you.
I highly regret that. I sold them for the record. I sold for like $60 for the pair.
Oh,
For both?
For both. Cause that's when it was dead. It
So
was
$30 basically for Stussies.
Stussies and ostrich, like the ostrich joints.
Those black joints.
The black joints with the
I
gum
had those
sole.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
I had them and they were dead and I was strapped for cash and
And you wanted to buy another pair of shoes.
something like that. I don't know what it was, man.
Or make a payment on rent.
something like that.
Or buy books for university.
I was strapped, bro.
Wait, bro. We all did it, bro.
But yeah, man, I sold them for that much. Yeah, those are like my major regrets. It wasn't my size. It was like a half size up for me.
Oh, so soft, bro.
But I really
Should've
when
sold them
I
to
let
me.
them go, I was like, dang, I know.
I could have sold them back to
For
you.
real, yo, fuck. Man.
100 times the price.
Yeah, I know.
Having trouble breathing after
Yeah.
hearing. I didn't know it was that little.
Yeah,
Shout out
Who'd
to
you sell it to?
Shout out to Miguel.
I don't know why. That's it, Miguel.
Oh,
Big
Miguel.
Fernie.
Motherfucker. I think he talked me
Crazy,
down to
bro.
a deal too. I think it
He
was
talked you
I think
down.
it was 2 for $100, and then
Oh my!
and I think he was like a repeat
gosh.
customer. I think he bought off of me before. I was like, okay,
No,
Come
but
on,
that was
hook me up.
honestly market at that time. It was
it was
like
dead, bro.
I paid
like,
it's probably around
Yeah.
the same time. I remember at a Soul Exchange, I paid $160 for a dead stock pair,
see,
and that's like 2, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man.
similar timing. Yeah.
Facts.
Like it was dead back then, and like like I kept most of my SBs, but the ones I
Of course,
got
the
rid of-
most expensive one is the one you got rid
Shit,
of.
man, fuck. But
It's
yeah,
all good.
yeah,
Grain
man.
of salt, bro. Grain
Yeah,
of
man,
salt.
for real.
If they were worth that much now, you probably wouldn't sell it anyways, would you? If you still
No.
had it to this day,
I would probably still. I probably still
you would
wear
still
them.
have them. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Like even
Doesn't
if
matter.
you track down on on my posts on my feed, you'll see them that I did a restoration on them because when I had gotten them, they were just dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
But then I did a restoration on them. I cleaned them up and they came out nice. But then at that point on, I was like, shit, I'm not wearing these. Like, you know what I mean? SBs are dead.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I'll just get
now SB's back.
Motherfucker.
All right. So just to kind of cap it all off, what's kind of keeping you into sneakers now? So we know what got you into it. We know what the whole journey's been like here. It's now 2020, 30 plus years deep, loving these shoes, loving the culture, loving all of it.
Yeah, man.
Loving the podcast. True to Size episode 127, now available on iTunes and Podbean. What's keeping you into sneakers now?
It's just the whole camaraderie of like everybody, like it's the community. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, us, like, you know, us brothers and whatnot. And then, you know, you got Flipping Laces and them, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just a big, broad range. Like, it's like a big family. Like that time we did Soul Exchange and we just look behind us. There's our homie behind us, Inking Money. You look to the left of us. Oh, it's, you know, Uncle Scott Calder. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's the family. It's like, it's what it is, right? And that's what's keeping me in the game at this ripe old age. And it's like, I don't know if I'll ever get out of it. It's good to see Jomar getting into it.
If you were ever going to get out of it, you're not now, because if Jomar's into it, he's going to, Papa, let's go line up for Off-Whites.
Yeah, man. Magic thinks he's a sneakerhead because he has Yeezys. Like, yo, what the hell? but yeah, I don't know. It's for me, it's just the family. It's the way that you are. It's like a brotherhood, sisterhood thing for me. You know, watching like kids like get into it even more, like for the right reasons. But yeah, it's for me, it's just watching it like build, like especially in Toronto, like, you know, with us, it's been like, you know, from like Nike Talk to like, you know, Nike Summits and whatnot. And it's just grown. Like we've seen it grown and for us to speak about it and to have been there, it's just like a blessing. Like, it's like shit. Like I was involved in that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's for me, it's the whole family thing for me.
Yeah, you mentioned like the whole Nike Revolution commercial. Like I feel like we were really part of like the Renaissance leading up to where we are now. Not to speak about ourselves specifically, but just being involved before it was so big and doing what we could to grow the culture, to be there from its infancy, even as like soon as 2010, which is 10 years ago, but for how far it's come in 10 years, like leaps and bounds.
Crazy.
Like I'm sure you can attest to how there was not just no culture, but below no culture. There was literally less than nothing, right? Back then there was
like back then it was just an underground thing. You would look at somebody who was rocking the right sneakers. They would look at you. You just do your head nod kind of thing. And you knew it was up. They knew it was up. And it was just like that. But now it's like, yo, I know you. I follow you on Instagram. Oh yeah, I know you too. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that whole thing. Like the whole social media thing just blew it up even more. And it's just that's what's bringing us like all together kind of thing. And for us to grow from like a hashtag and to see where it is now, it's like, fuck, like holy shit.
It all started with a hashtag.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, it's amazing.
It all started with Team Jaws.
Holy
Joel, it was nice getting to get to know you. I'm sure all the listeners loved to get to know you. Tune in next week. I feel like a Dragon Ball Z announcer. Tune in next week to hear about Alvin's Soleography. Whoosh. But Joel, good shit. Boys, it's good to be back. Hopefully no scares. Hopefully no going back in time and no going back to 5 people maximums. Hopefully every single episode is swimming and barbecues and podcasts, because that would be quite a decent summer if I do say so myself. Thank you to everyone who has supported and or been a part of the podcast. Wherever you're taking in the episode, please leave a comment, review, follow, and or subscribe. We've got a Facebook group. Like, this is a forum, sell stuff, and connect with you guys called CGS Talk. You can find it on facebook.com/CGS.talk. We've also got a website we use for reviews, recaps, stories, and much, 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 much more, called canada.sold.ca. If you have any questions or suggestions suggestions for any of our segments, like the Soul Poll, Sneaker Heading for Dummies, or the Fire Round, shoot us a DM or email us at canada.soul@gmail.com. Of course, do not forget to use hashtag Canada.Soul on Instagram for a feature. I have been Lawrence Hopkins. You can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
I'm Joel Hernandez. You can find me at Jo Dooney, JO_D3OsNEY.
My name is Alvin Quincy, and you can find me at MISTERQ and then Mom.
That all sounds a hell of a lot better in person, too, I must. Thank you for listening to us talk. Thank you, first of all, for bearing with us while we had to make sure we did our part and stayed apart. I know we all know the audio wasn't the best. Sometimes it would cut in and out. There was blips, whatever. Thank you to everyone who was sticking with us. The 2 episodes a week was killer. It was so fun. People were keeping up, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you all for keeping up, and thank you for keeping with us while we're back down to our regularly scheduled programming. We promised still only bangers from here on out. Thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers for 127 episodes, and please remember to rock your kicks. This has been True to Size. We have been CGS and just CGS, and we are out. Peace.
You can hear the music, bro.
For the first time in forever.
I haven't heard that in a long
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like, whoa.
I'll play it again for you guys. Just one more time. We'll run it back. There you go. You miss it. I know a little bit.
Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. I was making sure when I was the only one who could hear it, I was like nodding or something, so you guys knew that I was at least hearing it.
Yeah.